Hey, Selfish Babe, welcome back to another Selfish Babe podcast episode with your host, me, Olanike Osibowale. And in today's episode, we are talking about how to go on a solo date and enjoy yourself. I had just taken myself out on a solo date tonight. Okay. I had went to go see a movie called The Boy and the Heron. I think that's what it's called. And it's like an anime film by this really big director in Japan. He directed or made the film Spirited Away. And so if you know about that movie is like super popular, especially in Japan. And so he came up with a new movie. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I gotta go. So I went and I took myself and I went and I enjoyed myself. And so I was like, after tonight, let me tell my selfish babes how they can really go on a solo date and really enjoy themselves. Okay. And remember, all of my podcast episodes are sponsored by my spiritual feminine wellness company called Evolving Butterfly. If you're looking to detox your womb, detox your ex, tap into your self-love, gain your confidence, regulate your menstrual cycle, then you want to check out my Goddess Vaginal Detox Pearls, as well as my Sex Magic Lubricant, as well as my Pussy Power Yoni Wash, all at evolvingbutterfly.org. The link is below. All right, so in terms of how to go on a solo date and enjoy yourself, I think I would say first, let me start with telling you what a solo date is, in my opinion. So, a solo date, in my opinion, is when you take yourself out on a date that is enjoyable for you. And so it's just the company of you and nobody else. And so there's a lot of women on social media that have been talking about solo dating, whether or not that they are in a partnership. I believe that whether or not you are in a partnership, I think it's really important for you to take yourself out and for you to enjoy yourself with just your company, right? It's cool to have a lover, it's cool to have a spouse and enjoy things with the spouse, but I don't think it's good for you to only enjoy enjoyable things with your spouse or even just your friends. I think that you should be able to sit with yourself at a restaurant, sit with yourself at a movie, and simply enjoy your own company and let that be okay. And so, as a selfish babe, one of the things that's really important in being a selfish babe, which is a woman who selfishly and authentically loves herself, is to spend time with yourself. And I think going on solo dates is one of those ways that you can spend more time with yourself. You're able to form your own opinions. You're able to see what you like, see what you don't like, and you just get to know more about yourself. You just have, like, you can really have amazing experiences in solo dates, and I know I have. And so I just wanted to just share with you after my own solo date tonight, like, well, how can my selfish babes actually enjoy their solo dates? Because some women are just afraid to be seen out eating alone, or they may think they look dumb, or like people are judging them. And those thoughts may happen, but it's like, no, people are not judging you. And even if they are, F those people. Okay, enjoy your own company. And so, my definition of a solo date, again, is when you are taking yourself out and it's just the company of you and you. And so, in terms of how to enjoy going on a solo date, I think the first thing is having that yes in your spirit and in your body when it comes to an event that you see, right? So, for me, I'll give you an example. When I was scrolling on TikTok today, I had seen the movie The Boy and the Heron. Like on my TikTok feed, it was like an advertising and it was like this anime. And I was like, oh, this style of anime looks so familiar because it was from like the maker of Spirited Away. So I kind of knew the style. And I was like, oh my God, this just came out. Let me see. And I was looking at the comments and everybody was really giving it raving reviews and saying how amazing it was. And so I was like, I want to go. And so I had looked up the AMC theater and I had seen that they had a show and I bought the ticket just for myself, right? And I went. And so for me, having that yes in your spirit is really important when it comes to solo dating because you're telling yourself there's something that, hey, there's something that I want to do. And this feels good in my body. And so when it comes to choosing an event or an experience that's going to make you really happy, selfish babe, I think just having that yes, like that ultimate yes, I want to go, is your sign to go, right? And sometimes you can say, hey, maybe my solo dates are just going to be movies and dinner. And that's okay. You may not be ready to take yourself out to the club on a solo date yet, right? I took myself to a compo club a few weeks ago and I really loved it because I really wanted to go dancing and nobody I asked could make it. But I decided to still go. And I posted this on my YouTube as well as my TikTok, Olenike Osibowale, both of them. And I just had a great time. I had two dance partners, and I didn't really have super big expectations for the night other than dancing, right? And I enjoyed myself, and it was cool. Then I went home, and that was really it. I just wanted to dance. But I felt like I would have felt bad if I robbed myself of the experience of not going because nobody was able to go. In my spirit, I really been really craving to dance to compa music and to just get that dance, that wine in. And so I feel like if I was like, oh, nobody can go, then I'm gonna stay home, I would have not had that good experience. Literally, when I was dancing with one of the partners, I was like, oh my God, I love compa. This feels so good. Like, it was just a really beautiful spiritual experience for me. And I feel like if I would have just not gone because other people couldn't go, I would have robbed myself of that experience. And I don't want that. And I don't want that for you, selfish babe. So that ultimate yes in your body when it comes to an experience, go, right? So make sure you're like, okay, this is going to be my solo date, right? Maybe you ask people and they can't go and you're like, I'm still going to go. It's your solo date. So now that you know that it's a solo date, I want you to feel good, right? This is really, really important. This is really, really important. As you are getting ready for your solo date, I want you to feel good. And so in order to feel good, you have to get into the energy of feeling good. And so this is what I did today. I had really recently been listening to a band called The Sacred Souls. The Sacred Souls, I believe. And oh my God, yo, I really love this band because they remind me of Motown music, even though they just started like 2 years ago. And they give you that old school vibe. And the music just feels so good in my heart and in my spirit. And so I was taking a shower, I was playing their music and I was just dancing to their music, and I had gotten my makeup done. Like I did my makeup and I just felt good. And so if you're going on a solo date, selfish babe, and you know you're going to go on a solo date, especially when it comes to an evening solo date, I want you to get into that energy of feeling good. And so what does that require from you, right? For me, music helps me feel good, so it didn't really require much. But I want you to think about, what does that require from me? The next thing I would say in terms of enjoying your solo date is to look beautiful. Do the razzle dazzle, do your makeup, and pick the cute outfit, right? And so I had gotten a new little top from the store named Mika's. And I was like, oh, I want to pair it with this. Like, I was really trying to figure out what my outfit was going to be. I was going to go to a Thai restaurant first and then dinner. But as I was getting ready, I could see that I was getting later and later. So I was like, let me not even do that. Let me just go to the movies. And let me eat something on the way, and then let me go to the movies. But I picked out my outfit and I looked cute and I really loved it. I even have these earrings in. This is part of the outfit that I wore. And I felt like I looked beautiful. I know that I looked beautiful. And so for you, selfish babe, as you are getting ready and you're choosing an outfit for the solo date, in order for you to enjoy yourself, look beautiful, whatever that is to you, right? Maybe that's putting on the makeup. Maybe that's putting on the outfit and doing both. Maybe that's wearing heels when you would have actually worn sneakers, right? I wore some clogs. I was like, I'm not going to do the stilettos today. I wore some clogs because my jeans were super long and I didn't want to wear sneakers. And it worked. And I got compliments throughout the evening. I remember I went through a drive-through at Chick-fil-A because that was the food I ended up getting. And one girl told me I look like Ariel. And I said, oh, thank you. Another woman was like, oh my God, you're so pretty. And I said, thank you. And I felt so good about that. And I feel like the universe, God, creator, goddess was really just affirming to me what I invested in myself. Yeah, I really feel like it was affirming to me what I invested in myself. I took the time to get beautified and look good and feel good. And I was being affirmed by the universe through these people. Hey, bitch, we see you. Hey, bitch, you did that. You know what I'm trying to say? And so I feel like when we're talking about spiritual self-love, when I'm talking about spiritual self-love, you guys know I have to put in the energetics behind the things that we do. And so like, you're getting ready and you're feeling good. That is adding to yourself. You are putting on your makeup and looking in the mirror, getting your outfit together. That is adding energy to yourself. So in terms of the energetics behind what we're doing when it comes to choosing yourself and loving yourself, you taking the effort to beautify yourself is significant. I feel like when you are taking the effort to beautify yourself and taking that time, because this is a solo date with you, the date has already started. The date has already started. It's not when you get to the location, it's in the getting ready. And so because the state is with you, you're already like romancing yourself, right? You're making sure you look good. You're making sure you look good, you smell good, you feel good. And so you're romancing yourself. You're pouring this energy back into yourself and giving yourself this energy of joy, which is going to help you magnetize the things that you want in your life. And so when you are putting this energy into yourself, selfish babe, it is a real big act of you choosing yourself. Okay. Now, I will say the next step when it comes to how to enjoy yourself on a solo date would be to affirm that doing something for you and that you're going to enjoy yourself, right? Affirm that this is something that you're doing for yourself and that you're going to enjoy yourself. So maybe you're like, I'm going to have a great evening tonight. Tonight is going to be amazing. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. I know I'm going to have so much fun. And that could just even be through a feeling. I know when I was getting ready, I didn't really say any affirmations specifically. I'm trying to think. No, I actually did some affirmations, but it wasn't really about going out. It was just like me feeling good, right? And I feel like the affirmation in my heart was the energy of my heart that was radiating throughout me. And for me, that was an affirmation in itself. Now, I will say that when going out solo, that this could mean getting out of your comfort zone, right? So let me give an example of what could be like getting. Okay, so for example, when I went to the compa party, like I had mentioned to you guys, what would be probably out of my comfort zone would maybe back in the day, I probably wouldn't have danced with anybody, right? Maybe back in the day, I would be a little, I don't want to say stuck up, but I just wouldn't be open to meeting new people. But now that I'm open to these things, and now that I know I'm like, oh, this is a solo date, this is just for me, and I want to have this experience, I'm going to be open, right? And so when somebody asks me to dance, I didn't say no. They asked politely and we enjoyed our dance and we conversated a little bit, and I really enjoyed that. And so for me, that could have been an example of me getting out of my comfort zone. So maybe you go to a restaurant and maybe you sit at a bar and you don't want to sit at a regular seat, and somebody comes up to talk to you. This happened to me. Somebody has come up to talk to you, or they're sitting next to you and they just start a conversation and you just talk. Maybe when you would have just answered their questions and been quiet, now in order for you to get out of your comfort zone, you're now inquiring about them. You're asking them questions, and it's not because you necessarily want to date them or be any type of or them being a romantic interest. It's just like, hey, this person's talking to me. I'm out and about. I'm enjoying myself. Oh, let me talk to them too. Let me ask them questions. Let me inquire, because normally maybe you wouldn't have, right? And it's like, well, let me challenge myself in a way where I'm just like, well, they're talking to me. Let me talk to them, So it's just like sometimes I feel like in solo dates, you can be really surprised what happens. And it's just like, sometimes it's nice to kind of go with that flow of like what is happening if it's something that's good, So for me, if I wasn't used to talking to somebody, but I'm like, okay, I want to get out my comfort zone. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to think about questions to ask them. And I'm going to carry a conversation with somebody I just met a minute ago. And I think that can be a wonderful challenge in itself. It's just like you get to grow in new ways on your own, right? Now, when I go out on my own or on solo dates, I do recommend spiritual protection and physical protection, right? So for me, I'm going to pray before I leave. I'm going to and that could look like speaking with my ancestors at their altar, saying, hey, I'm about to go here, guide and protect me as I'm at this location, and just kind of update them and let them know, hey, where I'm going, where I'm going to be. That could be me praying in the car, affirming my safety. That could mean using protection oils and protection jewelry. And that could also mean in terms of physical protection, that could be carrying a pocket knife, right? And I think that's nice to carry as well, just to have something small or something that's indespicable. I don't even think I'm using the right word, but like I have this little pocket knife that looks like a pen. So it's like, if you pulled it out, it really looks like a pen. So it's just like, oh, this is a pen. But I know that that's a pocket knife. So that's another way of like protecting myself. And so that's really what I do to enjoy myself on solo dates. I will say I've been on solo dates during the day. And that's just because I'd be like, oh, I'm hungry. Let me go. And so it's kind of not even like a whole thing with me, right? There's some solo dates that's really like, I'm hungry, I want to get served, let me go eat. And then I take myself to go eat, and it's during the day and it's no big deal. But then there's other solo dates, especially when it comes to the evening ones, where I do kind of make it a ritual, where I am dressed up, where I am putting on the makeup, and I just go out and I see what the evening brings for me. So selfish, babe. This video had ended up cutting off last minute, and my phone was just like the storage was full, so I could not finish the episode. But that's basically all that I had to share with you guys in terms of how you can enjoy your own solo date. And I hope that you guys take some of these tips into account. I will say, if you're a selfish babe that is really, really like unsure about solo dates at nighttime, then I would go during the day. If you ever have some time where you can go to a restaurant that's open throughout the day. When I say throughout the day, I mean like maybe a 12 to 4 p.m. Try just going out to a solo date throughout, like in the daytime, and see if that helps you. So then at one point, eventually you can go to a solo date in the evening time. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope that you took something away from it. And I will be having some affirmations so that you can enjoy your solo date coming up next as well. Remember that all of my Selfish Babe podcast episodes are sponsored by my spiritual women's wellness company, Evolving Butterfly. If you are a selfish babe out there that is really tapping into your self-love, that is really going through a transformation, and that really wants to tap into your divine feminine energy and be the goddess of your life, then check out my products at evolvingbutterfly.org. I highly suggest all of my Selfish Babe starts with the Goddess Vaginal Detox Pearls. They are my #1 best-selling spiritual, physical, and emotional womb cleanse. Okay, they're great to reduce menstrual cramps. They're great. They have helped women get pregnant. They've helped women reduce fibroids. They've helped women with their yeast infections and BV. Just, having a clean odor down there, or natural odor down there. But also on a spiritual level, they've really helped women to release some negative things, sexual trauma, feeling of unworthiness, not loving themselves, lack of confidence. And then what women have been able to bring in after using the Goddess Vaginal Detox Pearls, what they've been praying over the pearls and praying over their womb spaces, is that boosting confidence, is that love for themselves, is the act of choosing themselves. And so if you're a selfish babe that is tapping into your self-love and your transformation, check out all of my spiritual self-love products at evolvingbutterfly.org, linked below. And make sure to follow and subscribe the podcast channel on YouTube, Selfish Babe Podcast. I love you guys so much. Peace.